it's a beautiful morning here in the city of Lagos, and we bid you welcome to the newspaper review right here on Voice of the People Television. Well, I am David Edwin. In case you don't know, let's get to it again. And I have with me right here in the studio Mr. Dele Fanimo, a seasoned reporter, and of course, Voice of the People TV's in-house political affairs analyst, and also Barrister Darlington Agumo, who is also a legal practitioner, like you would already know, and Voice of the People TV's in-house political affairs analyst. Gentlemen, good morning to you again.
Good morning. It's nice having you. Pleasure.
On the debut.
Well,
You are in charge.
all right, let's get to it. Right here, we're going to start off with the Guardian newspaper, where the banner headline here is talking about coalition 2027. Northern PDP leaders settle on ADC as preferred coalition platform. When I saw this news yesterday, I was asking myself, how original is this news? But let's get to it almost immediately. I'm going to start with Mr. Fanimo. ADC, a party that some persons have said this looks like a major northern party. Do you think this coalition would have a base with these party, and would anything come out good from this particular coalition?
The tendency is very clear, and those people that came together for that meeting, they are not up to any good for the nation. They are just doing this for selfish and parochial reasons. How would you call a coalition and nobody of substance is from the southern part of the country? And you are now buying into a party that initially it was an arrangement that was supposed to carry everybody along.
But there's still an ongoing conversation, Mr. Fanimo.
You see, what conversation are you going to talk about now that you are excluding people from the south? Which means, you see, southern people that are going into this coalition must open their eyes. What is the agenda of these people is to bring power to the north in 2027. It's pure and simple.
I see Barrister shaking his head in.
Maybe he doesn't agree with me. But that's my position.
But Barrister, what's your position here?
I disagree with Fanimo because Aregbesola is their pro tem secretary. Is Aregbesola from the north? David Mark is from the...
It's from the north.
No, call it North Central.
No,
or Middle Belt.
Middle
Belt, yes. Are you getting what I'm saying? And then Abdullahi is maybe from, I think, northwest, or northeast. So already you can see the positions.
How significant are these men that you've mentioned now, Barrister?
They are very, very, because
in their political strengths or the present Nigerian politics.
I am coming. The people that are coaliting together, go and look at their background. These are PDP stalwarts in the past. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you look at the names, you will know that they are widespread and they are bringing more people into the fold. Go and check. They are bringing more people into the fold. So I can't sit down here and say it's from the north. No. After all, Obi have already said I will do one term, and nobody has opposed it. That is why nobody from the east was given any position, either permanent or temporary, because I know that they are looking at Obi from the southeast to be the flag bearer. So we cannot sit down here and say that everybody was excluded. No, the people from the southwest, you and I know very well, they will not be too willing to show their face now, because Tinubu is contesting and all that. I know how they do their own thing. They won't come out and beat their chest and say, but behind the scene, they will be working. They wouldn't want to show up now. So, and I didn't hear that they wanted to come in and they said, no, they should not come. No.
There's also the conversation of Saraki joining the coalition. If he should be a part of this coalition, would that give it some zest? Because you would recall that Saraki was touted one of the Senate leaders who was vocal when the former president Obasanjo was trying to, bring up the third term agenda. So how significant is these men and the potential of this coalition having strength that would depose the APC come 2027?
It is very obvious because these men are big wigs in their own rights. Are you getting what I'm saying? They are stalwarts. So you cannot do away with them because go and check in all the states. You have them like that, either 2 or 3 in all the states in Nigeria. These big wigs that are coming together in all the states, they are coming in on their own. Why they kept away? Because they have not seen this seriousness before. And now that they have shown seriousness and that may not be registered, that's why they are now coming to rescue Nigeria. The objective here is to rescue Nigeria from Tinubu. Okay. It has become a very serious issue.
For me.
Hold on, I have heard that they are not serious, they are selfish interests. Look, let me ask you a question. Is there any other person who is not of high quality or whatever that can join that coalition at this stage now? Because you are looking at people who will even attend meetings. The transport to attend meeting, do you have it in your pockets? No, tell me. Some people have to lead. Some people have to lead the coalition to bring resources to even make any headway before others will now come in. It is natural. There are no two ways about it.
But there's a conversation of the fact that, Barrister, the African Democratic Congress Party that they have chosen as the wheel, the driving wheel to champion this cause. There's a conversation about the fact that this is a northern agenda still.
Oh, no. Hold on. If you are calling it a northern agenda, the one that Tinubu is doing now, what is it called? Is it not a Yoruba agenda? Let us go there.
That is if it's going to be that.
No, it is already, because Tinubu is not APC. APC is Tinubu. Even APC people, they are begging for this coalition so that they will unseat Tinubu. Okay. They are not happy. They are not happy.
Mr. Fanum, at this point, you were talking as well when I mentioned the African Democratic Congress Party.
You see, the unfortunate thing is we keep repeating old styles. And when we get the result, we'll begin to lament. This was the same thing that played out when they wanted to remove Jonathan. They came together and Jonathan became clueless, irresponsible, woman rapper, and everything they called him. Tinubu and they showed, just wait now, allow me to talk.
Tinubu led that coalition.
Allow me to talk.
Go ahead. I'm just reminding you.
Now, at the end of the day, when we were shouting change here, I was in Abuja that time. The northerners, and I was also walking along the northern routes. You see, most of us that are not being part of other part of this country, you will never know the cultural and traditional ways of life of some of these areas. You see, at that time, you know what the average northerner was saying? They were saying, bring power back to us. And we entered that booby trap. And the result was Buhari. And you knew what Buhari did in 8 years. Now, these people, they can't stomach not being in power for 8 years. And their calculation is, they are not calculating from 1960 anymore. They are calculating from 1999. And they are claiming that in the last 26 years, they have only spent 10 years.
That's one of Buhari and, of course, the other of Yar'Adua.
You understand? Yar'Adua's 2,
yes.
And then Buhari's 8.
Of Buhari, yes.
Now, if Tinubu finishes his tenure in 2027, that means technically the South had gotten 17 years. That is the narrative they give their people over there. And so, to catch up with the South, they need 8 years.
Okay.
And that's why they are using Southerners now as pawn to achieve whatever they want to achieve.
You think this, like you're saying, you think this is about the Northern agenda as well?
Just wait now. Let me tell you, you can decide to cut the nose by spiting the face. I mean, cut the face, spite the face by cutting the nose. But then, what is the end game? What is the end game? They deliberately kept Atiku. These are people that are very close to Atiku. They deliberately kept Atiku. His name was not mentioned. He was not part of that meeting. They wait until when it is close, and then Atiku will surface, and he will run. The best they can do is to make Peter Obi vice president. And the vice president is a spare tire. There is nothing you can do. The extent of your power as deputy governor or vice president is to what your principal, the president or the governor want you to be.
Speak to the conversation of Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola in this same coalition. Speak to
Aregbesola joined them because of vendetta he has with Tinubu. And I can assure you that Aregbe is not somebody to be trusted. Before next election, write it down that Aregbesola will come back to APC.
You sound quite confident about it.
Because Adeleke is going to go to APC and contest as governor. And
the PDP.
Technically, APC, Adeleke is PDP today.
And you're saying he's going to dump the APC?
He's going to dump the PDP for APC. And Aregbesola will be stranded to the extent that he will have no choice. We have seen people that have been so cantankerous in politics. And they make personal problem look like national problem. And we follow them sheepishly.
Okay, now,
but down the line, they know how to go back.
You spoke about the fact that Aregbesola's act at this point is that of vendetta against the sitting president. But then, looking at the part that some other APC...
As a matter of fact, some of the active players in this, save for David Mark, and Abdullah you talked about.
Yes.
What is this guy's name now? That is also running around, El-Rufai.
Oh, yes.
El-Rufai, if he had been made minister, he will not go anywhere. He will be the spokesperson, unofficial spokesperson.
So looking at the fact that these
are
aggrieved...
they are just aggrieved set of people coming together, and a house built on quicksand, what happens to that house? To collapse.
Okay. I'm going to come to you now, Barrister.
Yes.
Looking at all of these men aggrieved from the APC, same of the same, some persons will want to say, because these are the same men that jumped ship from PDP to the APC. And at this point, it's looking more like their interest is not being attended to, they're jumping ship. You would recall that the likes of El-Rufai was to be made minister. But
the Senate rejected him.
He was not made minister. So is this a coalition of aggrieved men who wants to take over power, or men who wants to rewrite the books because they've been in power and it's seemingly looking like they've not done anything in the last couple of years?
Since the creation of Nigeria as a country, never have we seen this type of coalition against one man. Never.
Barrister,
never.
I said never. That of Goodluck Jonathan.
Some of us are students of history.
Hold on, I'm coming.
How would you describe CPC, ACN, and the rest, APP?
Hold on, I'm coming. Never have we seen this type of administration where one man is now identified as the party owner. He decided.
So what was Buhari doing?
Oh, is it not the same APC?
No, I'm asking you. You said one man.
Is it not?
When Obasanjo was there, what was he doing?
Hold on.
What was Obasanjo doing?
Hold on. In PDP, you don't have Mr. Know All. That is the only thing you can give it to PDP. It was even PDP that opposed Obasanjo. It was PDP that opposed him from the third term. What are you telling me?
It was not the PDP.
It was PDP, not the
person.
No, it was at the time.
Show me the players. In the PDP that opposed Obasanjo.
Where was
Show me.
Nnamani, who televised it at the National Assembly? What party was it?
He did.
Listen. That was the grounds of Obasanjo.
Don't put history on his head.
Okay, hold on.
I was an active player. I was a reporter. You are a lawyer going to court.
Hold on.
I was
you don't know better than us. Listen, David. Okay, look at it this way. Who was that person that was championing the removal of Jonathan? Was it not Tinubu? Was it not Tinubu, for God's sake? What did the Jonathan do?
In PDP?
I said as an opposition.
Look, when we want to talk, let's talk with logic here.
We are going
now,
there. We are going there. Now that they want to give, we want to give Tinubu.
Nnamani was Senate president. It was Nigerians that said you cannot hold this top-down debate behind closed doors. And people marched to the National Assembly.
Hold on.
And that was the mistake. That was the only offense that Raymond Dokwesi of blessed memory did against them. And he insisted that AIT was going to show that thing live. And that they insisted.
Who sponsored it? It was Atiku. It was Atiku that sponsored it. Now I want to ask you a question. You mean if
you are just confirming that Atiku is a betrayer?
Oh,
somebody is a vice president.
It was him that was
most of your argument shows that you endorse betrayal.
Hold on.
Most of your argument.
It was Obasanjo that betrayed Atiku, my friend. What are you telling me?
You can imagine that.
Obasanjo, the governor said that they don't want him for second term. It was Obasanjo that went to go and kneel down before Atiku and say, please allow me to go. After me, listen very well. Listen, my friend. What are you telling me? It was after that. It was after that that Obasanjo.
You can have your way with people that don't understand this.
It's a lie. It was Obasanjo that betrayed Atiku.
You cannot come and tell me lies here and I will agree with you.
It was not a lie. It's a fact. It was Obasanjo that betrayed Atiku.
You attach too much emotion to debate.
No.
You attach too much emotion to debate.
It is you. People want to come together and give Tinubu a dose of his own medicine. And you are supporting it. What are you telling me?
Gentlemen, let's also try to have a decorum here.
What they are not? Are we fighting? We are only telling. I want to tell him that he's wrong.
Yes.
And the facts are there. Is it true that Tinubu begged Atiku to allow? Obasanjo begged Atiku to allow him go for second term. After that, he will hand over to him as a northerner. What happened after Obasanjo's second term? What happened? What did he hand over to Atiku? Was it not the time he started telling us that Atiku is the devil himself? He did it, he did that. Until that time now, Atiku has not survived it. Who betrayed who here? Who betrayed who?
But Barrister, I'm still going to come back to you. Let's get
I've made my point. Is for the viewers to deduce from whatever I pushed down.
Let's get the view of Dr. Bright, all the way from Benin, our Benin studio. Doctor, if you have joined the conversation, let's have your view on this coalition as well.
Well, this coalition is more like the friend of my enemy is my friend. It says that I know I heard somebody say this is a coalition of aggrieved person because in 2019, these people that were listed were almost like together against Buhari, but they couldn't pull so much weight. They divided in 2023, and they also lost. Now coming together now is also a big challenge, right? Because the coalition that they are forming has not even had a very firm background, but we are still looking at them with some level of not being trusted because of their antecedent. Because if they are actually forming this coalition, I'm not looking at them coming together to form the coalition. My concern is who are they going to front? Because they can form the coalition because this is their target they want. This is the target they want to achieve. But the person they will promote or they will project at the end of the day also matters. It shouldn't be any of them who are coming together to say we want to form this coalition, because by then it's already something like it's already fade. But if they are forming it to create awareness, then they now have to bring in somebody to say, okay, let this person be in charge. Fine, that will be good. But for any of them to come and sit on the front burner to say it is my turn, we are the one that formed this coalition, it will be very, very good. And again, I just hope the coalition will not be sabotaged, considering the people that are in there.
Okay, you just mentioned sabotage now, and a lot of persons will be wondering, from what angle are you talking about when you talk about sabotage? Mr. Fanmo here did say that the Southerner that is in this mix, I'm talking about Rauf Aregbesola, possibly is one who cannot be truly trusted from his perspective because of antecedents. Do you think at this point anybody amongst these men might just be the reason for the sabotage?
Well, you see, what these people do is that many a times they don't sit down and watch you wanting to destroy them. Now, the coalition is not a coalition of a better Nigeria per se. It's like a coalition to say, let us unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not even a coalition of against APC. APC already formed their own coalition to defeat, to get wrestle power from Goodluck Jonathan. And here they are today. So now this coalition against Tinubu is where the issue is. And Tinubu, as a person who is somebody who will not just sit down and allow you to form a coalition to unseat him, would definitely also have his plan. So the question is, among these persons who are there, is there the possibility that he is not the one that has planted one of them? Because there is something that we need to understand with some of these politicians. What they do is that they can put their person to go and head maybe another political party so that they can have the control over that political party, as the case may be. So in this case, they are forming this coalition. If Tinubu can buy over somebody who would hold a very prominent position in that party, and at the point when they are supposed to act, that person will not start maybe not to act or not to do what they're supposed to do, automatically the coalition has been crumbled. Just like giving a commander an opportunity, and the commander, the time he needs to give command, he will not give his command, and things will just go. So that's the angle I'm viewing it from, because the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has a lot of tentacles. You cannot actually predict the reach of his influence.
Okay, now let's come back to the studio here. Barrister, interestingly, this conversation about coalition and the intent of the people in that coalition seems to be very, very worrisome. And of course, this is based on antecedents of these persons. You did say earlier that these men, it is best that they come give President Bola Tinubu a taste of his medicine, which of course you mentioned coalition basically. As it stands, there was a new report from the Westminster Foundation for Democracy in the Guardian newspaper that unveiled the fact that a representative ticket may cost 500 million naira. Post-election litigation will cost 1 billion naira. Looking at this reality of figures, do you think these men coming together have the weight when it comes to funding to pull their strings? The doctor said from Benin Studios that you cannot overemphasize the presence and influence of the sitting president when it comes to the political landscape. Do you think any of this would play a major role?
The money you mentioned, where is it coming from? I don't understand.
Well, according to these Westminster Foundation reports, they say it is post-election litigation that will cost 1 billion for any candidate who is sitting for the representative seat. So looking at these facts of election costing, of course, to get a ticket is 500 million, and post-election and all of that, even before the election. Do you think these people have this?
These are speculations.
No, let me explain to Barrister, because he's a player and he's waiting in the wings to maximize his pocket from this. What that report is saying is that to contest election, that the minimum you need as a House of Rep member is 500 million naira.
Because I was wondering where he was coming from.
Now, the one that concerns you, that you should begin to work on your clients that are contesting, is that to get over litigation between when you go to the tribunal to appeal court and possibly Supreme Court.
I like the fact that you said what concerns him.
is what concerns him as a lawyer. That you people have positioned yourself that to even get a consultation now starts from 250 million. And then other incidences will amount to about 1 billion together at the end of the day. If that person loses or not.
Well, let me disappoint you. All these speculations are lies. It doesn't hold water. There is no guarantee that all the elections will end up in court. No guarantee.
They're not saying that every election.
So that's why the speculation is wrong. You don't assume things in law. You don't. There is nowhere where they wrote in our statute book that if you are going to challenge your election in court, you must pay so amount. It's not written anywhere.
But
it's not. So let us leave that.
Most of these signs they take as much as
leave all those things. It doesn't apply.
Okay, so Barrister, talk to the funding of getting a ticket.
The people that came together, they are not greenhorns in politics. They are not even hungry men.
No, we are not talking about that. We are talking about election proper now.
Hold on, I'm coming. You see, that is one of the problems with Nigerian people. We always assume things, and then by the time we assume, like this thing they are talking about Tinubu having 20 tentacles all over the place. These things are just assumptions that you cannot even validate yourself. This thing you are talking about the election, have they come out? At least let the coalition come together, then establish their position, then do their convention before you start talking of all these things you are talking about. That's what we are saying. They have not even shared positions. That's what I'm saying here. They have not shared positions, and you are speculating it is from the north, it's from the south. The one that Tinubu is doing, let us even talk about him. Is it not Tinubu's bad leadership, bad governance that brought up all about these things? Was it not because of him?
That's not true.
Hold on now, I look around the APC. Who is APC today? Apart from Tinubu, mention anybody of note in APC that can take the decision. Who removed that Ganduje? Was it the National Working Committee? No. Tinubu removed him on his own. He decided.
You have other claims to this.
Sorry, is that what?
You cannot substantiate all these claims.
Hold on, no. What are you telling me? The man
did you see
hold on.
At that meeting?
I said, hold on. Who told him to resign?
Were you there? You
mean a Ganduje that is the national chairman of an APC, that Tinubu is the leader, that he would all resign because one street trader told him to resign or what? I don't get it.
Well, he said it's on health grounds, Barrister.
Well, no. Those things are lies. That was how they told us about Ajuri Ngelare. That in fact the man is so sick that the family is about to scatter. That's why he left. Is that not what they told us? Today, did you hear that Ngelare went to any hospital? No, tell me.
He will not come and tell you.
Okay, but anyway, he knew the Kano. He need the Kano. And he knew that Ganduje cannot give him Kano.
So from your perspective, you believe it's about Kano State.
Let us have our turn so that it will not be rowdy.
All right, let's
now, let me tell you what that story is talking about. We have moved away from Tinubu is bad, Tinubu is this. But we are telling you, that report is saying that to contest election, regardless of which party you belong, that you require about 500 million. Is that not true?
Was it the party that said it? I don't want this speculation.
It is not speculation. You have not been involved in this thing. We have been involved.
The coalition has not settled down.
What has coalition got to do with this?
But you told me now.
I didn't tell you that.
You are telling me now.
Barrister, coalition has nothing to do with it. This report, maybe you are still thinking that we are still talking about the former report, the main story of the Guardian.
Which party
but this one is a different story that stands alone.
From
that in the Guardian, that an NGO or so did a survey, and they came out with the fact that to contest for House of Representatives in this country, you need about 500 million naira. That is the story, and that to pursue the case to the highest level in court, you need about 1 billion, which is your own area.
I'm telling you, it's a lie.
He just said
it's a lie. Yes, so, because it's not kind of.
Let me tell you.
Let's have your opinion.
You may choose not to go for a shot.
David, let me tell you. For those who may not have been active participants, it's a lie. But those who have been active participants, it's quite unfortunate that we don't have this immediate feedback. Maybe if callers would have called in, they would have validated this position. You see, I've been head of media and strategy for 3 governorship candidates in this country. And I've been in charge of media and publicity for more than 8 people contesting for either House of Assembly, House of Reps, or Senate. And I know the kind of money that is involved. As a matter of fact, that 500 million naira would only suffice in a place that is rural.
Not in an urban location.
Not in somewhere like Lagos. If you want to contest as House of Rep member in Lagos, you will not be spending 500 million naira and you think you are there.
Irrespective of the party.
You can see
Irrespective of the party.
You can see.
And I'll tell you how. Let me break down for you to know that it is what is happening.
Go
The
ahead.
moment you aspire, even before you are given ticket, as somebody who is aspiring to that office, all the problems in that community, in that your constituency, automatically becomes yours. Area boys will mill around you. Babalawo, prophet, imam will mill around you. You will continually feed them. Go to any of these people. They kill an average of 1 cow per day. How much is a cow to feed? Apart from the condiments, apart from the bags of rice and all that. Now, the party leaders, you have to be funding them until the election. If you fail to fund them, they will not allow you to get the ticket. Go and do a survey without carrying camera to all these local government aspirants and candidates that will be conducting election next week. They will tell you how much they have spent. I have been part of the spending and I know what I'm talking about. This is not speculation. This is not what I read in the books.
Okay, so
that means he's part of the problem. You can see now. He just confessed it to.
But Barrister,
How much did they give you?
I am a professional. The same way you people collected 300 million naira from Rivers and you said it's a gift. I am a professional and I work for that money.
Professionally,
I'm a media person and I'm a media executive.
I said it's a lie. It's not. It's not.
So it's a lie that I'm a media executive.
No, it's a lie that you they spend this kind of money.
No,
it's a lie that
Barrister.
it's not cast on stone.
A couple of weeks ago, the comedian, I'm talking about Ali Baba,
yes,
brought out figures even far more higher.
That's what I'm saying.
Than this. And from indication, according to
Which one is his own? He's a comedian now.
No, he also has been in the corridors of power with the then president. I'm talking about Olusegun Obasanjo in terms of when it comes to political advice. Anyways,
it's the money they paid him for comedy now.
But Barrister, is it not possible that these figures could be spent to get a senatorial ticket in the present day Nigerian politics?
Look, what I'm saying.
Let's even leave speculations aside.
If you
let's
are
talk the reality.
If you are,
no, maybe we should ask this. Barrister, how much do you think a candidate will spend?
Hold on. If you are an anointed candidate, you may not spend all this money. Remember that the party equally need to fund you. You get some money from the party. Are you aware?
No party.
No, you are giving some money.
Anybody again.
No,
it is the Godfathers that fund.
No,
okay, so
you are giving some money.
Yes.
Yes. They even do some posters for you and all that. These are things. There are things party do for you. The moment you have scaled through, and they know you are their candidate, they will rally around you.
That's not true.
So why are you now saying it is just cast on stone and all that? There are people who didn't spend that much. Okay, somebody like Jonathan, how much did he spend? You saw how he became president. From deputy governor to vice president. From
did he not contest the election?
No, the money he was.
After he served out Yalabra's contest. Do you know how much Ifeanyi Uba, do you know how much Ifeanyi Uba committed to Stella Odua? Do you know how much
Peter Obi. People do that this on his behalf, not him.
So
how much did he spend? How much did Peter Obi spend?
But Barrister, if the people do it on their behalf, or they did it by themselves.
Exactly.
You said what?
If the people did it on their behalf or they did it all by themselves.
The people did it on their behalf.
I'm saying, what I'm asking is, would they spend to that tune of 500 million or not?
Do they?
Would they spend?
Did you see the receipt? Why are you talking something you don't assume in law? You don't.
Not possible.
It's not possible because there is nothing to validate what I'm hearing here.
Okay.
Nothing. No receipt.
All right.
No receipt at all. No receipt. You are just
again.
No
receipt.
Barrister, let's move to another story.
No,
how much did the Peter
Ask your virtual guest.
How much did the Peter Obi spend?
Ask your virtual guest.
How much did he spend?
I totally.
How much did the Peter Obi spend?
Ask your virtual guest.
Dr. Bright, you are still a part of this conversation. Let's have your view. Do you think it's possible that people spend up to this amount to get a senatorial ticket?
See, the truth is that they can spend up to that. they can also spend more than that because the politics has become like buying of people's conscience and other things. The truth is, quoting that kind of money, from my opinion, yes, the barrister is being accused that he's a lawyer. Maybe they get part of it. The other speaker there also said that he's a media analyst. They spend those money. But from me, in a situation whereby we are trying to get credible candidates to come up, credible candidates may not be able to afford those kind of money. Such report, is it not to scare people from coming up? Because first of all, you have to talk about 500 million to get form, then talk about 1 billion, which is already 1.5 billion naira, because you want to contest an election. Those who may want to put such money on ground, is it from their business or from which source are we looking at? For me, I see that report as a way of trying to discourage some Nigerians from venturing into politics. They may spend more than that. They can go and give 10 billion to anybody. Of course, it's already more than that 1.5 billion. But genuinely, as the case may be, what are they using those money for? Yes, people will come around you. If genuine people come around you, it's not compulsory. You must give them money. But our politics have become somehow that once you hear somebody contesting, you want to put all your responsibility on top of that person. And if we want to correct our system, I think we'll begin to address that narrative, because it is money politics that took us to where we are today.
Exactly.
So that money is just, for me, is a way to discourage people from vying for that particular office. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so very much, Dr. Bright, for that conclusion there. Let's get to another conversation, and I'm going to start with you, Mr. Delifanimo. Your state of interest, and I'm talking about Ondo State.
Yes.
The governor has requested for a probe into the late governor's death, and this is sparking so much controversies. From your perspective, what do you think might be the reason for wanting to ask for a probe to the death of the late Akeredolu?
When the former governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, fell ill, there was a controversy surrounding some state actors in the state, trying to take charge of him, exclusive of the wife. And so, at a point, the wife had to cry out that they are shielding, they are taking charge of her husband, and not allowing her to do what she ought to do for her husband. But curiously, that woman was busy fighting for a senatorial ticket in Imo State, while the husband was ailing. And some other people that felt that this man must not die took over. And they were trying to save him and all that. Even when the man was taken to Germany, the wife didn't travel with him to Germany. And now, eventually the man died. That woman had not stopped accusing some people of killing her husband. And so, to put all these things, all these speculations to rest, there's a particular woman who is a special advisor in that state. I don't want to mention her name here and now. That woman was accused by Akeredolu's wife that she was the one that killed her husband by feeding him so many concussions, which was refuted. And so, maybe the governor just felt that this thing is not going to die soon. Why don't we just do coroner inquest and investigate the cause of this man's death and put everything to rest so that it will not distract his government from pursuing the job of governance that he has been elected to do. So I think, to the much that I know, this is the genesis of that crisis.
Okay, now let's have Barrister have his take on this.
You see, the best way to find out what killed the man is by autopsy, not speculations. Let them do autopsy. They can even exhume the corpse, and then the coroner inquest will take over. Forensic examination of a dead body is allowed in law. So by the time they finish their job, they will tell you exactly what killed the man. Whether it was ill health, natural causes, or it was poison and all that, it will show up. All this talk here and there, when the doctors should have been called in to do their job, I don't buy it. Except they just want to play to the gallery, to tell us that they love the man so much and all that. When he was ailing, when he died, didn't somebody, is it not incumbent on someone to solve? Even the wife should have insisted, oh yeah, let us do coroner inquest. Let us do autopsy and find out how and what killed this man. It will end the matter now. So whatever they are trying to do now is like they don't even want the man's soul to rest. They are disturbing him.
That's even the cultural angle to it.
I
mean, it's not part of our culture to exhume a body that had died more than 2 years ago.
I was really going to ask you that, really, because yes,
what is wrong with that? If it is a death that happened under controversy,
they should have done it immediately after it.
No. Look, new evidence may come up, like Abiola death now. In fact, I don't know why they didn't do that. Whenever there is such a controversial death, it is incumbent on the living to insist that something should be done. That's the truth. Now that the thing is under controversy, how do you find out how the man died and what killed him? How? Is it by accusing people?
And that's why I also supported it.
So why are they now telling us you will not?
If this thing is coming from the wife, I think it's belated, because the wife should have insisted, since she is the one that had accused some people of killing her husband. She should have called for this inquest even before the burial. It took about 2 or 3 months after the man died before the burial. So she should have requested.
We all saw this man when he was ailing. At a point, he was not coherent. They first took him to Ibadan or so, Abi, where they say it's the maternal home or something like that.
Ibadan is not his maternal home.
No,
where was he? He was saying that when he came back from Germany, he didn't go back to Ondo State.
He went to war, and then he was later brought back to Ibadan. Ibadan has been his base from time. He has his chambers, he has his house, and everything.
Now, as a governor of the state, that one is irrelevant now. Why will you go to stay in another state, leaving the state where you govern? I mean, there's no excuse for that. What I'm saying in essence is that this man was ailing.
As it is today,
in Germany, they didn't tell us that.
If you are given a choice to go back to your village and remain in Lagos, I'm sure you would prefer to remain in Lagos.
But the man was
because sick. All your circle of friends are here.
And I don't have them in my village.
How many of them? When last did you see them?
All right,
apart from telephones.
Dr. Bright.
What I'm saying in essence is that the man, we also saw what happened to him. The German doctor didn't say it was poison. We didn't hear such a thing now. No. We had either stroke or something.
All right, Dr. Bright, let's have your opinion on this as well. I don't know if Dr. Bright can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope the noise around is not so much disturbing.
No, go ahead.
My opinion on this is very, very brief. The person we are talking about is not a small person. Is a high profile person that have access to so many resources in terms of both human, financial, and whatever resources that is required. And I believe that if money could have saved that life, money would not be an issue. Yes, controversy will always come in cases like this. If autopsy would reveal so much, I think autopsy can be done. But however, whether it is poison or it is stroke or something like it, there should have been a record that can actually be analyzed, and if anybody is found culpable, the person can be taken up. But for me, is maybe there is more to what has happened that the public is not aware. That maybe some quarters are trying to pitch the public to see. Because in Nigeria, when issues like this are beginning to generate discussion, there is more to what meets the ordinary eye. I think I will stop at that.
Okay, let's come back to the studio and round up
Unfortunately,
right now.
TB Joshua is not alive
Well-
because one of his spiritual whatever.
As let's round up this conversation, gentlemen, in 30 seconds, while you give your concluding thoughts, Mr. Fanimo, the renaming of the Polytechnic, Ibadan Polytechnic in Ibadan, and of course the protest by the students. What's your position? And of course, to
I
find
was a student of that place. It will rubbish the brand of that polytechnic. Because there are some institutions in Nigeria today that you just show your certificate that you attended that institution. They have some measure of respect,
All right.
regardless of what is prevalent in Nigeria today.
Okay.
But by the time you say Odunloyo Polytechnic, nobody will want to go back and find out.
All right, Barrister, 30 seconds.
There is nothing wrong with it. After all, Harvard was owned by somebody, and today is a name to reckon with.
Okay.
It's just perception.
Originally
And
owned.
Yes, now.
But this
Up
one
to-
is not originally owned.
Up till now, the name Harvard still rings a bell.
Oh, well, this is
So
where-
it is a perception of the individuals involved here, whether for politics or for whatever. It is the outcome, the people you churn out from that particular polytechnic that will determine how far the name will go.
All right, thank you so very much, Barrister, for that. So this is where we have to draw anchor on the newspaper review this beautiful morning. We want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in, and of course to Dr. Bright, all the way from Edo State. We want to say thank you for being here, and of course to Mr. Dele Fanimo and Barrister Darlington Agumo. Thank you so very much for being here. As we go, I'll always say this: don't forget to always pray for Nigeria. There is no great nation like ours. David Edwin saying, "You have a good morning ahead."